My brothers and sisters, my friends. So I came back again. So they called Carthaginians, okay? Carthaginians. So all this Punic war with Rome. They lost war. They had 3 wars. So Hannibal was, I think he controlled Italy and somehow in 3 Punic wars. Punic means Phoenician, obviously, from Tyre. So the Tyre. The city Tyre is, where, by the way, where Saint Fremitus came to the Aksum king Izana, and he converted to Christianity, okay? So Tyre is a city in Syria. So that's where he's from. So these Phoenicians, okay, they came from Tyre, okay, to all these northern African countries. They call them Carthaginians, really powerful people, very seafaring all over the world, you know. So they were strong competitors with the Roman Empire. So they had 3 wars with Rome. So that was the initial Roman Empire, Greco-Roman. So they lost the war, and the Romans, they call them Ptolemies, they came all the way to Egypt, near our coast. So all these people that you have, like Strabo, everything, Pliny the Elder, Pliny the Younger, they discovered, they became seafarers, and you know, after they controlled the North African countries, the Carthaginians, Northern Africa, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, and so that was with the Berbers. So they came to our place and everything, okay? So we had this area called Bernice in Asap. They used to call it Bernice, and you know. So that's the history in a nutshell. So in our history, what do we say? We are the children of King Meroni, okay? So Meroni means like a purple, okay? Meroni Hebrew, like a Meroni, like. So all these conchs, sea mollusks, around 10,000 mollusks, just don't even make a color dye to color your shirt or maybe of one clothes, you know. So you have to kill 10,000s of conch. So you have this queen conch and everything, okay? So I touched a bit how they make the pearl from this mollusk, you know, from this conch and everything. So this color, the purple, so that's an inspiration, I think, obviously, we can assume, okay? I think I'm minimum 75% sure. So this purple color was, you know, it just made mad whole world, my friend. All these religious figures, all these kings, like, you know, they were wearing that purple color, my friend. It was a clothes, an attire of kings, royalty, my friend, you know, all these popes and everything. So you had the Roman Empire, the senates, the big top people, the high class. They used to wear a clothing called tongue, okay? So we do have the same thing in Tigrinya, Gabi, and Kedan Habish, well, you just wear that gracefully like this. Roman Empire senates, you know, big people, high nobility people. That's the kind of things that we have in our country, my friend. We do wear still the same like it used to be in the Roman Empire. So the same like the tongue. It's a high class nobility thing, my friend, okay? And all this riff-raff lower class, they just wear everything, like, you know, they just have this chiffon, nylon, police, chiffon, all this working class, like really low class, okay? Sorry, I'm not trying to underestimate them, obviously, but this tonga was really bright white, like that, how they say it in the Roman people, and that's what we have in Eritrea and Ethiopia, like, you know, especially the highlands of Eritrea, still Ethiopia, the semi-mountains, you have that in Tigray, in Gondar, Wollo, that, because that's really the cultural center of Ethiopia and Eritrea, okay? Back in the ancient times, you know, you had all these emperors in Ethiopia and Eritrea, like, you know, all these like people like Lemnedingel, Sosinis, all of them. So they didn't have a permanent basis to have a castle, like a citadel to protect themselves. So what they used to do was like, they used to move all their soldiers, mobilizing them. They used to move from one place to the other. Wherever there is war, they didn't have a proper settled castle that they can defend against the enemy. So the first time they built that that's Seven Mountains, my friend. It says before the facilities, I think it used to be in Roha, they call it in Gondar. So that's Roha, they used to call it, all this last everything. So that area is called Seven Mountains, okay? Yesemen Trarawach, okay? So that's the culture, power center of we Habesha people used to be that. So whereas to the coastal area, wherever, that was the center and really beautiful people, so this Tonga thing, the Roman Empire, all this nobility, the rest that we have that in Eritrea, especially when you see them, when you see us in the festivity time during Easter, Christmas, and Nativity, everything, we just wear that noble Tonga kind of like this Roman, all that lavish dress. It's very expensive, it's pure cotton, high class number, the first class cotton. So pure white, and our women have all that shawl. We call it Zuria. It's the same thing like Tonga in Roman Empire. Anyway, so this Tonga thing, that's how they were wearing, all these Roman nobility people, all these senators, all these people in government, people like you have the Cicero. Cicero is a very famous writer. He was a general. So in Eritrea, we have our study in Asmara. It's called Chichoro. Chichoro. This is from his name. Chichoro. Football, my friend. Hey! Oh! Mbosira! Oh! Ganta Hamasi! Oh! Ganta Sarai! Like that's how it used to be a long time ago. So they used to play football in Chichoro. So this Chichoro name came from Cicero, from this Roman general. He was a senate, and so that's how it is. So this, I just want to take you to this Carthaginian people. So these are people who invented Phoenicians, obviously, originally from Tyre city in Syria, now in Turkey. So these are people who created that color dye, purple like that made people so mad. Oh, that's brilliant color, my friend. Shiny, all the people, like, all the, it used to be like, a color of the nobility people, my friend. All these low class people, they cannot afford it. So in order to make this blue shirt that I have, my friend, if I want to make it purple, 10,000 quench mollusks have to be sacrificed to make that color. Even it's not enough, like you can see the gravity of it, how the extent of how precious it was. Like so you have the purple at the same time you have the blue. So blue thing. So all these Roman people, when they have that Tonga, all their dresses, so they soak into this color, and it's called purple, maroni, nugus, nugus kedan, So nugus maroni. So we say our dad is maroni, maron, azuriu, that's what we say. So we have King Maroni number 1, King Maroni number 2. My suspect is because obviously, you can see how important our semen is, okay? So we used to reside in our area, all these people, we were trading obviously, or from these Carthaginian people, they were seafaring people, my friend, okay? So they had trade connection everywhere, so this is intellectual property, they wouldn't tell you who they are trading with. So obviously, they are our brothers, we are trading like, we look like them, we look like these Berber people, Habesha, Ethiopia, all these people from Tunis, from Carthaginian area, they were bringing all these their barnos to Gondar, to Addis Ababa, like during the Alvarez, ambassador of Portugal. He stayed there for 10 years in the 1500s. Okay, so these people, they used to bring all their barnos. Barnos is like this big coat, barnos, my friend. They used to bring that, So we look the same like them, isn't it? Like even though we are more handsome people and more beautiful people. So Nugus Moroni, I think that must have been an inspiration, my friend. Like King Moroni, Kadan Lipsi, Zilabis Abona Nugus. So the first one is King Moroni number 1. The second one is King Meroni number 2. So we have that this really broad mythology history in our books. We say the Kichalo, the Kamalo, the Kefalo, like, you know. But if you want to have the real evidence of that, we don't have it yet. I think that's my suspicion. Obviously, like, you know, all these mollusks that you see, all these pearls, my friend, you know, wearing that, and we see you are just owner of that. Obviously, you will call you dad, you king, dad, emperor, Nugus Meroni, my friend, King Meroni, Moronawai, like, you know. So there are some two theories of where his whereabouts is, like, you know. So obviously, some people postulate he came from around Tigray and Gondar, maybe, using the Madaib, and you know, and the other one is maybe from Meron city in Sudan. But obviously, the fact that we still speaking Tigrinya and in Tigray is speaking Tigrinya, and I think obviously I think we were the same kind of. We are brothers and sisters, my friend. Okay, so this Meron thing. The oldest trace that we have is in our Hene, our Naharet, Barenet, my village. Okay, so this seafarer, we were seafarer, my friend, before the Arabs came, and they came to Adulis. They controlled it, so they gave that name Adulis. Azulia, Habibi, Azuli, Al-Andulis, Al-Spagnole, Spain. So they gave the Azuli to Adulis, okay? But in the past, like, you know, we were the people who were the owners of all this purple, all this, we were trading with these Carthaginians, and our kings were called Meroni, you know, all the beautiful colored dresses, my friend, you know, from all these mollusks, you know, from these precious corals, my friend, you know, or we've been trading with them and everything. Suddenly the Arabs came, like, you know, just they ravaged the whole of this. The name just wiped out, and the people were coming, backing off to the highlands, Barenet, all the way to Tigray, to Ethiopia, like, you know. So our trade shifted from the area south to Barbaria of Ethiopia. No, sorry. We are brothers and sisters. So we forgot the art of shipbuilding, the art of seafaring, meeting all these people, my friend, all these Berber people, all these Arab people, all these Chinese, Indians, everywhere, Mediterranean. We forgot it. We even forget that how to make ship and boats, Jalba, Ifrit, and you know. So I just put the link so that we have to reinvigorate. The English word is very difficult. To restart our industry, and you know, we are people of Merino from Meronawai, like, you know, that's you can see our father, everything, the Red Sea, my friend, you know, beautiful thing, you know, yeah. So this King Morani, the name, obviously, that's how much we can go, but obviously this slavery, all these people from that area, from Adulis, from Zula, and from Foro, when these people were seeing any boats coming to our area, they used to scream and run away like crazy, my friend, because they see their brothers and sisters taken like slaves to Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Medina, and they become slaves. They're like, you know, so they were freaking out, they were scared. So I brought you the link to this Arab Caliphate and Walis, only Rashidin, Muhammad, and Umayyads, everything, so that you can have the bigger perspective of it. The Corbora, you know, the Caliphate of Grenada in Spain, what was happening, all the war. So it was serious thing, my friend. Like, ever since what that we had that slavery from Saudi Arabia and all these people, Arab people, taking our people, like, you know, they just have that machete or that sword. Either you have to be converted to Islam or you're gonna be slave, my friend. So they don't have a choice, my friend. So they change their names from Mr. Gabra Maskal, from Gabra Mariam, Mr. whatever it is, Mr. Eob, and, like, you know, they change their names to Abdu. Abdu means a slave name, okay? Slave, Arab slave. That's what it means, like, you know, it means slave of the Arabs. Abdu, Ubud, Abidu, Ubud slave. That's what abdu means, my friend, okay? So you have this everything, slavery, changing the whole thing. So in order to give it a good perspective, we have to see what was going on in Europe. So I brought you the case what was happening in Prague, obviously, in Czech Republic, the Black Sea, everything, because that was like it was happening to these Vikings as well. People are from Ireland, you know, the whole Nordic countries, you know, all these Jewish people taking them away from from Prague slave market until sending them to Andalusia in Spain, of an Arab Caliphate. Okay, so that was the whole history of slavery. Labor, my friend, labor. You bring all these people to tillage land, you know. Slave labor, my friend, they're very powerful. So you take them to Euphrates rivers, and you have all these farms in Iraq, Mesopotamia, in Iran. So that was the order of economical mobilization, and you know, just bringing all these slave people in Europe. Now the Europeans made it so big industrial kind of thing, really kind of in a bigger, grand scale, and you have this big thing. The Spanish did it, the Italians did it, the English people did it. All this Bristol slavery, you know, all this Lancaster slavery, Liverpool slavery. The French did it at a grand, big scale. Now it's fading away, and this guy, you know, Tzfazien Agazian, so he's trying to be very smart, and we have to be very clever enough, you know, just to get what slavery is. You know, it's psychological, it's intellectual. So we have to put a perspective on it by giving facts from everywhere, and to give just big fact, consolidated information to our young people, so that people don't hijack you and they don't hack you and sell you like a slave, my friend. The worst thing is while you are alive being sold as a slave. Okay, so if you go, just somebody takes you to their harem and you have so many kids from them, like that's the worst thing. Anyway, so that's a summary in a nutshell, or this what Meroni mean. And you know, obviously Meroni could be from Sudan, from Meroe. Obviously that's our history. So the Tigray, Meroe, the Wonder, we Eritreans, we are all brothers and sisters. So when the Arabs came to Sud, they used to call them Sud in Sudan, and everything to Meroe, you know, everything, they made them slaves, my friend, the whole of Sudan, you know. So all the women, harem women were there. So all these black women, all these Arabs, you know, they just take them, like, you know, they just put that harem place, and you have so many women for one warlord, and like, you know, so that's how it came. But before, we used to be the same people, like, you know. So that Meroe is very important, because that's Egyptian history. We are all interlinked. We are people who created farm, my friend. Still in our land, our farm, we use the oxen and everything. So when you talk about Egypt is a desert, my friend. It has got nothing except the Nile River flowing through that. That's only, in order for you to have farm, you have to follow the Nile River all the way up to the Mediterranean Sea. The rest is a dead. We Eritrea, my friend, it's a large green area, whole country. That's where farming started. That's where writing system is linking with the Sabians. You know, I'll put to you this Yemeni scholar trying to link how they started to create symbols, so that we as humans can relate and communicate with other people, like, you know, in a writing system. So our ancestors were passing us their storytelling on Kohaito, you know, all the art on the cave painting, Metara painting, the Hawalti, you know, the obelisk, everything. So that's how they were communicating. We have our own script system, communication skill, communicating in writing, like, you know, it was on the obelisks, it was on the cave, everything, and they were telling us the history. So that's the writing system 4,000 years ago. Can you believe it? Like, you know, we are only people in Africa, we have that representation of symbols to communicate with people. Like, you know, now we have papers and we go internet, and you know, we used to have hieroglyphics and everything. So this Meroe city, Maria Kayah, it came from the Maria Meroni. Meroe, okay? Meroni, purple. Meronoi. Etan, Meron, Meron, Etan. Shimeron, the name Meron. Meroe. Purple, Meroe. Like, that's a really big thing, my friend. So, this cerebral thing is a really very tricky thing. We don't have to be trapped. At the same time, we don't have to forget, okay? So when you when we have people, really smart people, try to use that, selling our identity, literally telling us we are Jewish people from Israel. Like my friend, we are Africans, okay? We are native people, okay? ደቀባት መሬት ና እሱ ሃይማኖት ናይ እምነት ናይ መሬት ናይ ኦኬ ቡኢና ተሰሪሕና ኩሉ ጎቦታት ኩሉ ባሕሪ ሪኢኹም ኣለኹም ብኡ ዝኩሉ ናትና ስጋ ኤቭሪቲንግ ከው ተሰሪሖም ኦኬ እምነትና ይሁዳ ክኸውን ይኽእል ግን ንሕና ደቀባት ደቂ መሬት ደቂ ዓዲ ደቂ ባሕሪ ደቂ ጎቦ እሱ ኩሉ ናትና ተጣቢዩ like ወላት ኩሉ ስፒሪት ናትና አውይ ዘሎ ኦኬ so we know Jewish people my friend okay we are Eritreans it's ናትና land okay of course ሃይማኖትና ሃይማኖት ከም ሕጂ ሳይንስ በጽሕዎ ዘሎ ሓደ ናይ ግሪክ ፈላስፋ ተራኾነ ሓሳቡ ምስ መጸካ በጣም ተድንቆ ገለ ሓደ ግዜ ከም ክኾን ትደሊ ግን it's not our identity is Eritrean my friend okay we are the natives that natives very important people when people in the past they used to call them or these Aborigine people in Australia they used to call them Baria means these are people in Aborigine people who came from Asia and they are living now settled in Australia. So this barrier name was used in a derogatory term by these people, South Wales, they used to call them, these are prisoners from England, they settled in Australia and so they wanted to rob their land of their started being native people. So they labeled them barrier, like you know, people who don't deserve it. No dignity or respect, but these people are natives, my friend. All these people came from Europe and settled there. So that native thing is very important thing, my friend. Wherever you are from, Europe, China, Arab, that's our land, my friend. We are natives, okay? Land of the Meroni, we are not slaves, we are natives. Landowners, my friend, landlords, the whole big village, the whole mountains, the whole thing, my friend, okay? Okay, my friend, you watch out their language. So that native is very important, okay? Any European investor, Jewish investor, Arab investor comes to your village or maybe to our city, to our area, okay? If you want to make, if you want to build a manufacturer or maybe some kind of like a big pharmaceutical or maybe big car, motor-wise, a big industry, you just give them a lease for maybe 10 years. The same way they give us this mortgage in this country, like, you know, a mortgage you have to hold or whatever it is. It's the same thing. You charge them money, my friend, super billion pound, because we are natives. That's what native means, my friend. That means nobody comes to your place and try to be owner of your place. So if you tell I'm a Jewish, all these Ethiopian migrated Jewish people come from Jerusalem, Haifa, they settle there, they tell you, hey, you black barrier, you black bastard. I'm an original Jewish, my friend. Get out of here, you don't deserve it. This is Eritrea, man, because I'm a Jewish. You die. That's what he's telling to these people, okay? We are not Jewish. We are Eritreans, man. We are the landlords, okay? You bring people, some investors from Israel, you bring them there, you charge them, my friend, okay? Shekel, you know? Dinar, real, dollar, euro. You give them lease for 5 years. If they don't pay, you just kick them out, okay? That's what means being Eritrean. Thank you very much, guys, okay?